Okay, what happens next?
When I get out to the yard, about halfway to the road, Cortez comes out.
Behind you?
Right.
And what do you two do?
I get in the car, and he got in the car shortly after me.
And from the last point that you saw Jonathan Dukes was where? Your own eyes?
On the porch, on the back patio.
Okay. Now, when's the next time you see John Dukes? Well, first of all, what do you and Cortez do when you go up to the car?
We get in, and Daryl said...
All right, I'm not going to ask you what anybody said in the car, because we'll have Daryl testify later. I'm just going to ask you what you did. You got in the car?
Right.
And John's not in the car.
Right.
Where do you go?
We drove up the street, waiting for him to show up.
Waiting for who to show up?
Jonathan.
He's nowhere in sight at that point?
No.
Okay, what happens next?
He called Daryl. They called each other back and forth.
Him and Daryl called each other?
Right.
Then what occurs? Where do you go?
We're looking for him. We can find him.
You eventually find Jonathan Dukes?
Yeah, he came out on the side of the road, got in the car.
Okay. Now you're back in the car with you can have a seat, you, John Dukes, Daryl Dukes, and Cortez Oliver. Where's everybody seated at this point?
Cortez is behind me, and Jonathan's behind Daryl.
Now, at this point, are you able to tell while you're in the car what it is that you all got from Mr. Lowther's home?
No.
What do you know, or when do you know what you got?
I just know it's a big white. Well, yeah, I did, because the coins were dropping on the ground. When Cortez was running to the car, I could hear coins. But I didn't know that was the only thing in that box. I just seen big white box.
So as you're running at some point, you hear coins falling?
Yeah.
And when you're running where?
From the house to the car.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's been marked State's Exhibit 1. If you can take a look at this box. Tell the court, or tell the jury if you recognize that exhibit.
Yeah, that's the box.
Okay, and who was carrying this box?
Cortez.
And what was in it?
Tubes filled with coins.
You remember seeing him carrying anything else, Cortez?
No.
Now I want to ask you a question specifically in regards to while you're in the vehicle and the four of you are back together. You found Jonathan Dukes, you get him into the car. Was there some sort of argument in regards to Jonathan and proving to each other who did the most or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, how does Jonathan respond to that argument? What does Jonathan say?
He said, well, I didn't do anything, then why do I have blood on my hands?
He said, if I didn't do anything, why do I have blood on my hands?
Correct.
What did Jonathan say after that?
He didn't say anything. He put his hands in between the seats.
To prove that he had blood on his hands?
Right.
What did you do at that point?
I just kept looking forward. I looked at Daryl. Daryl looked down.
Are you driving at this point?
Was riding. Yeah.
Where do you all go to at that point?
We went back to a little side road off Talmadge Road, because Cortez had put that box under the trees.
When did Cortez do that? Prior to or after you picked up John?
We couldn't find Jonathan. Before we went back, he hid him so we could go back to the area to look for him.
So you guys hid the evidence somewhere else so that you can go look for John?
As did.
Okay. And then you went back to get that stuff? Is that what you're telling us?
Right.
Do you remember about where you were when you went back to get the coins? Where you or Cortez had hidden them?
It was the first street off of Talmadge Road.
And are the coins placed back in the car?
Right.
By whom?
Cortez.
And where do you all go then?
Dee Dee's mom's house.
What did in terms of where everybody wanted to go at that point, what did John want to do? What did you want to do, Dee Dee and Cortez? You're all back in the car. You're headed towards Ravenna. Where does everybody want to go?
Home.
What do you do with John?
We dropped him off at his mom's house because he wanted to take a shower.
Was he the first one to be dropped off?
Yes.
Okay. So you now take John Dukes to his mom's house so he can shower.
Yes.
You drop him off. Is that the last time you've seen him?
Yeah.
Until today?
Yeah.
Now, after you leave John Dukes' house and you drop him off to shower, where do you and Dee Dee and Cortez Oliver go?
We sat at his sister's house, and he continued to make some sales for about half hour.
And when you say make sales, explain to the jury what you mean, please, in full language.
Selling cocaine to whoever came and got it.
Okay, so it's you and Dee Dee doing this?
Yeah.
And where's Cortez Oliver?
He's in the driveway.
Okay, what happens next?
I wanted to go home, so we were on our way to my house. Cortez wants to put the coins in the coin star at John Eagle.
And did you agree to do that?
He didn't ask me at first. We were telling him not to. We didn't want to stop. He didn't want to have him on there. So Daryl stopped. And
Stopped where?
At Giant Eagle.
And who's in the car at this point when you first arrived at Giant Eagle?
Daryl, me, and Cortez was in the back seat.
Just you three?
Yeah.
Where do you pull up at and where do you go?
We pulled right up to the front, and he had put all the coins in a Crown Royal bag and has me take them in to the coin star.
Tell us about that. What do you do?
I dropped them in the coin star. The man working there asked me where I got them,
Okay.
and I tried to just brush it off.
What did you tell that man?
That I was cashing them in for gas money to go to Pennsylvania,
For what?
pick up my son.
What sort of man was this? Can you describe him for us?
He was an off-duty police officer.
Was he in uniform?
I believe he had like a security guard uniform on.
Jodi, I'm going to hand you some pictures collectively. If I can have the elbow turned on. I'll put these in order.
The deputy trained to do the life still.
For the record, I'm going to hand you collectively what's been marked state's exhibits 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, and 118. Could you have a look at these photographs? Just go through them one by one and try to keep them in order for me. And then I just want to know if you recognize the person in those photographs.
It's me,
And where are you at in those pictures?
Giant Eagle.
I'm going to place this picture. I'll let you look at it first. And then I'm going to put it on the monitor. Go ahead and take a look at it. The monitor can sometimes wash out the color. So, can you tell us who's in this picture right here?